The falling star. New York nights rarely stayed quiet. Sirens echoed somewhere in the distance, neon lights shimmered across glass towers, and traffic buzzed in its usual sleepless rhythm. For most people, it was just another Tuesday. For Peter Parker, swinging through the skyscrapers in his Spider-Man suit, it was his chance to clear his head. A few muggers stopped, a couple of selfies taken by surprised tourists, all in a night's work. But then the sky tore open. At first, it looked like a shooting star, a brilliant streak of silver flame cutting through the clouds. Then it grew larger, too large, the sound splitting the night like thunder. A fiery object roared over Manhattan, rattling windows and setting off car alarms as it screamed toward Queens. "Okay, not a shooting star," Spider-Man muttered, flipping onto a rooftop for a better look. "That's a problem. Big problem." The object slammed into an abandoned construction yard, sending a shockwave through the ground. Dust billowed into the air, glowing faintly as if charged with static. Spider-Man didn't wait. He shot a webline and swung hard, landing at the crater's edge. Inside lay something that wasn't just a meteor. A ship. It pulsed with strange organic light, not metal, not stone, but something alive. Vines of silver and crystal stretched from its hull, curling like roots into the earth. At its heart, a hatch peeled open with a hiss, releasing air that shimmered with starlight. And then he saw it. A small figure stumbled out. Thin, humanoid, its skin glowing with a soft, bluish radiance. Its eyes were huge, luminous, reflecting whole constellations. It looked afraid. Hey there," Spider-Man said carefully, raising both hands. "Name's Spider-Man. Local good guy. You're not here to vaporize us, right?" The figure tilted its head, trembling. It raised one hand, and light flickered across its palm like a dying sparkler. Before Peter could move closer, the ship pulsed again, projecting symbols into the air. Strange glyphs formed a pattern, then shifted into something resembling English. The voice that followed was soft, halting, almost childlike. "Friend." Peter's chest tightened. Yeah, friend. "You're safe." The being let out a sound, somewhere between a sigh and a melody. Its body relaxed slightly, though it still shook. Peter noticed faint scars on its arms, like burns. Someone, or something, had chased it here. Before he could ask more, his calm buzzed in his mask. "Parker," came Tony Stark's voice, brisk as ever. "Tell me you're seeing this. A ship just crash-landed, and it's not exactly NASA-approved." Yeah, Tony, I'm standing right next to it," Peter replied, glancing at the glowing alien. "And I think it came with a +1. Static crackled, then another voice broke through, deeper, commanding. "Midgard trembles with strange power. I, too, have seen the star fall. I come." "Thor." Peter blinked. "Of course it's Thor," Tony sighed. "Kid, don't move. I'll be there in 5. Peter looked back at the alien, who was now crouched near the ship, pressing its glowing hand against the hull. The ship responded, sending out another pulse of light, almost like a heartbeat. "Don't worry," Peter said softly. "Help's on the way." But the alien suddenly froze. Its eyes widened, staring up at the sky. Peter followed its gaze, and his stomach dropped. Far above, the stars seemed to shift. A cluster of dark shapes slid across the heavens, blotting out constellations. They weren't natural. They were ships. Dozens, maybe hundreds, descending fast. "Tony." "Thor, you might want to hurry." The first shockwave hit before he finished speaking. A black pod streaked down and slammed into the construction yard, cracking concrete. Its shell split open, and from inside crawled something monstrous, tall, armored, with jagged spines jutting from its back. Its eyes glowed a sickly green. It hissed, clicking mandibles snapping. The alien child whimpered, shrinking back. "Yeah, I'm guessing you know this guy," Peter muttered. He launched himself forward, kicking the creature square in the chest. It staggered but didn't fall. More pods rained down, the night filling with impacts. Shadows spilled into the yard, soldiers of an alien legion. Peter gulped. Okay. Definitely not a mugger situation. A blast of repulsor fire tore through the air, smashing one of the creatures aside. Iron Man hovered above the crater, armor gleaming under the city lights. "Miss me?" Tony quipped, scanning the scene. His HUD flickered with data. "Not just one ship. We've got a whole fleet moving in. Great. Just what I needed on a Tuesday." Thunder cracked overhead. A bolt of lightning split the sky, and Thor landed beside the crater, Mjolnir in hand, eyes blazing with stormlight. "These beasts reek of the void," Thor growled. "The Vorrak Legion, carrion eaters of dying worlds. They come for the child." Spider-Man looked at the alien, who clutched his hand in terror. "The kid? Why?" "Because he is hope," Thor said gravely. Before Peter could ask what that meant, the ground shook again. Harder, heavier. From the largest pod, a massive figure emerged. 8 feet tall, armored in jagged black steel, its face hidden behind a crown of horns. Its voice boomed like grinding stone. "Return the Lamari to us, or this world burns." Spider-Man tightened his grip on his web shooters. Iron Man raised his repulsors. Thor lifted Mjolnir. And somewhere in the distance a roar thundered, not alien, but unmistakably human in its rage. The Hulk was coming. The night had stopped being ordinary long ago. Now, the real fight was about to begin. Shadows of the Vorrak. The roar shook the ground long before its source appeared. Then, with an explosion of shattered concrete, Hulk burst into the construction yard, eyes blazing green, fists clenched. The Vorrak soldiers hissed and spread out, their spines rattling like blades. The towering warlord, horned and armored, raised one clawed hand toward the Lamari child. "Eryndor belongs to us," the warlord growled, voice reverberating through the night. Spider-Man instinctively stepped in front of the alien. "Yeah, not happening. Earth has a very strict no kidnapping kids from space policy." Iron Man hovered closer, his scanners racing over the enemy. "These guys are bad news. Energy signatures are off the charts. Their armor absorbs small arms fire, and their weapons, oh great, they're draining the city's grid." "Let them drain," Hulk snarled, stomping forward. "Hulk smash them anyway." Thor swung Mjolnir, calling down a bolt of lightning that cracked against the Vorrak warlord's armor. Sparks exploded, but the creature barely flinched. The warlord bared serrated teeth. "I am Draal'Korr, High Captain of the Vorrak Legion. This planet means nothing to us. Surrender the Lamari, and your suffering will be brief." Eryndor whimpered behind Spider-Man, the glow of his skin flickering erratically. His ship pulsed as if it shared his fear. "No deal, Shredder Jr.," Spider-Man shot back, firing webbing into Draal'Korr's face. The warlord tore it off with a hiss, and the battle erupted. Chaos in the yard. Hulk launched himself at a cluster of Vorrak soldiers, smashing the ground so hard that shockwaves toppled 2 of their pods. Metal screamed. Creatures flew. Hulk roared in triumph, catching one by the leg and slamming it into another like a club. Thor took to the air, Mjolnir spinning in a cyclone of thunder. Lightning arced from his hammer, vaporizing Vorrak drones mid-flight. He dove into their ranks, striking with the fury of Asgard itself. Iron Man unleashed a storm of missiles, targeting the incoming pods. Explosions lit up the skyline. His HUD filled with alerts. "Yeah, I'm clocking about 40 of these guys. Not ideal. You'd think hostile aliens could at least send me a fruit basket first." Spider-Man swung between cranes and scaffolding, his webs binding Vorrak soldiers together, tripping them up just long enough for Hulk's fists or Thor's hammer to finish the job. But his main focus stayed fixed on the trembling alien child. "Hang in there, buddy," he said, crouching near Eryndor between moves. "We'll handle this." Eryndor's glowing hands pressed against his ship again. The living hull pulsed brighter, projecting more glyphs into the air. Spider-Man glimpsed an image, the Vorrak fleet consuming a planet's forests, draining oceans into black ash. He shuddered. "Yeah, not letting that happen here." The Vorrak pushed back. Draal'Korr stomped forward, ignoring Thor's lightning and Hulk's fists. His armor shimmered with a dark energy shield that seemed to drink power. With a sweep of his claw, he knocked Thor aside, then fired a beam of green energy that sent Hulk crashing through a half-finished tower. Guys, not to be the nervous chatter type," Iron Man muttered, dodging volleys of Vorrak plasma, "but they're big guys shrugging off everything. I don't have enough juice for a second arc overload." Thor staggered to his feet, wiping blood from his lip. "He feeds on despair. The Vorrak are parasites of sorrow. They grow stronger as fear spreads." "Well, that's just peachy," Spider-Man muttered. "Whole cities watching aliens trash downtown. Guess who's about to get really strong?" Draal'Korr seized a piece of broken machinery and hurled it toward Eryndor. Spider-Man sprang forward, webbing it aside just in time. The impact shattered a crane. Sparks rained down like fiery snow. The alien child cried out, his glow flaring uncontrollably. The ship pulsed in sync, humming like a heartbeat. "What's happening?" Spider-Man asked. Iron Man scanned the energy spike. His HUD beeped frantically. "Kid, some kind of living beacon. The Vorrak aren't just here to grab him, they're terrified of what he'll become." Which means if he learns to channel that light, he can fry their whole fleet. Turning the tide. Hulk smashed free of the rubble, eyes blazing with fury. "Hulk, not afraid." He slammed both fists into the ground. The shockwave knocked Vorrak soldiers into the air like ragdolls. Thor landed beside him, lightning coursing across his armor. "Then we fight without fear. Let them find no despair here." Iron Man boosted higher, raining micromissiles across the battlefield. Stark Industries says no refunds on alien invasions. Consider this your eviction notice. Spider-Man crouched by Eryndor, speaking quickly. "Listen, kid, you don't have to be scared. You're not alone anymore. You've got us." Eryndor's eyes brimmed with starlight. He whispered one word, shaky but clear. "Friend." The ship responded instantly, unfurling crystalline wings like a giant flower opening. Beams of light shot skyward, striking several Vorrak ships in orbit. The invaders screeched as their connection to despair wavered. Draal'Korr roared, charging. Hulk met him head-on, their collision shaking the entire yard. "You can't stop. Vorrak." Draal'Korr snarled, pressing Hulk back with inhuman strength. "Yes, we can." Hulk bellowed, straining with all his might. Thor hurled Mjolnir, smashing into the warlord's chest. Iron Man's uni-beam struck a split second later, blasting him into a wrecked pod. Spider-Man looked at Eryndor, whose glow was now steady, calm. "You're stronger than you think. Show them." The Legion falters. With a cry that resonated like a chorus of voices, Eryndor raised both hands. His body blazed with radiant energy, and the ship magnified it, projecting a wave of pure light across the battlefield. The Vorrak soldiers shrieked as their armor cracked, their weapons dissolved, and their shadows burned away. Their strength drained in an instant, because their power couldn't feed on hope. For the first time, Spider-Man saw Draal'Korr hesitate. The warlord staggered to his feet, smoking from the combined assault. His eyes narrowed at the glowing child. "You cannot hide forever, Lamari. We will return. We always return." He slammed his claw into his chest plate, triggering a recall beacon. The Vorrak pods shot back into the sky, retreating toward their fleet. Silence fell. Only the hum of the living ship remained, glowing softly in the aftermath. Spider-Man collapsed onto a piece of rubble, panting. So, just another normal Tuesday night, huh? Hulk grunted, sitting heavily on a crushed pod. Hulk-like kid. Strong light. Thor placed a hand on Eryndor's shoulder, his expression solemn. The Vorrak fear you, young one. That means you are destined for greatness. Iron Man scanned the departing fleet, frowning. They're not gone. Just regrouping. And next time, they'll come bigger. Eryndor looked at them, at his protectors, his friends, and his glow brightened, not from fear but from trust. Spider-Man glanced at the others, then at the child. Well, guess we're all in this together now. Above them, the Vorrak ships loomed in orbit, dark shadows waiting. The war was far from over. But for the first time, the Vorrak had reason to be afraid. The Starfriend's light. The night after the battle in the construction yard was uneasy. The Vorrak fleet still hovered above Earth like a bruise on the sky, their jagged ships blotting out stars. News broadcasts showed footage of the crash site, civilians whispering about aliens and beacons. Panic simmered just beneath the surface. But in the ruins of the yard, the Avengers stood watch. The Lamari child, Eryndor, rested inside his living ship. Its crystalline wings folded protectively around him, glowing faintly with his pulse. He's stable, Iron Man said, scanning the ship with every sensor he had. But the Vorrak aren't done. Their fleet's charging something nasty. Thor gazed skyward, Mjolnir humming with static. They will unleash their doomsday cannon. I have seen such weapons, starburners that can hollow a planet in minutes. Which means we stop them before they press the big scary button, Spider-Man said, crouched on a broken beam. His mask lenses narrowed. You know, classic save-the-world stuff. Hulk cracked his knuckles. Hulk smash cannon. But as they debated, the ground shuddered. Above Central Park, a Vorrak mothership descended, splitting the clouds with its sheer size. At its belly unfolded a massive cannon, glowing with corrosive green light. Iron Man cursed under his breath. Well, there it is. The galaxy's biggest bug zapper aimed right at our planet. Then let us strike now, Thor growled. Before they could act, a booming voice thundered across the city, broadcast from the mothership. Humans, Draal'Korr declared, his image projected across the skyline. His armor was scarred from their last encounter, but his gaze burned hotter than ever. Surrender the Lamari, and we will spare your world. Refuse, and Earth shall be reduced to ash. All around, civilians screamed, watching from rooftops, streets, and screens. The Vorrak fed on that fear, their energy swelled, their aura darkening. The city itself trembled with despair. Spider-Man clenched his fists. He's getting stronger just by scaring people. If this keeps up... Iron Man cut in. Then we take the fight straight to him. No waiting, no running. Avengers style. Thor raised Mjolnir high. Aye. We fight not just for Midgard, but for the hope this child embodies. Hulk bared his teeth. Hulk smash Warlord. The final battle begins. The Avengers surged into action. Iron Man boosted into the sky, repulsors blazing as he targeted the cannon's energy nodes. Thor followed, summoning a thunderstorm that split the heavens, bolts crashing against the mothership's shields. Hulk leapt onto a nearby Vorrak dropship, tearing through its hull like paper, then launching himself higher toward the mothership. On the ground, Spider-Man stayed with Eryndor, who stirred inside the ship. The child's glow flickered like a candle in the wind. They're gonna burn the whole city if we don't stop them, Peter said softly. But you're the key, aren't you? You've got something inside you they're terrified of. Eryndar's wide, luminous eyes locked on him. "Afraid?" he whispered. Peter crouched closer, lowering his voice. "Yeah, I get it. I'm afraid all the time. Afraid of failing, of losing people. But here's the thing, you don't beat fear by running. You beat it by standing with friends. And guess what? You've got some." The child's glow steadied, his pulse syncing with the ship's crystalline veins. Above, the battle raged. Iron Man's missiles slammed into shield generators, but Vorrak drones swarmed him in the hundreds. Thor carved through them with lightning, but each kill only seemed to fuel the cannon's ominous hum. Hulk clung to the mothership's surface, smashing clawed soldiers aside, but even his strength couldn't halt the massive weapon powering up. Then Draal'Korr himself descended, crashing into Central Park like a meteor. The shockwave flattened trees and shattered windows for blocks. Spider-Man staggered but stood tall, web shooters primed. "Oh great, you again. Didn't you get enough last round?" The warlord towered over him, eyes burning green. "You cannot protect him. Hope is a disease. And I am the cure." Draal'Korr lunged, only to be intercepted by Hulk, who tackled him with a roar. The two titans collided, fists cracking the earth, trading blows that echoed like thunder. Iron Man swooped down, blasting Draal'Korr with concentrated repulsors. "Tag team time, big guy." Thor landed moments later, lightning dancing across his armor. Together, the three heroes battered the warlord, but his power only grew as the cannon above neared full charge. "Your planet's fear fuels us." Draal'Korr bellowed, striking all three back with a single devastating shockwave. Eryndor awakens. Spider-Man sprinted to Eryndar's ship, shouting over the chaos. "Kid, if you've got anything left, now's the time." The alien child stepped from the ship, his small frame glowing brighter than ever. His fear was still there, but beneath it, something stronger: trust. "Friend," Eryndor said, voice steadier than before. His glow surged outward, a pulse of radiant energy that pushed back the Vorrak soldiers. The ship responded, crystalline wings unfolding fully, channeling his light skyward. Beams of pure luminescence pierced the clouds, striking the mothership's cannon. Draal'Korr howled. "No! Silence the beacon!" He broke free of Hulk's grip, charging toward Eryndor. But Spider-Man swung in, webbing the warlord's face, pulling with all his strength. "Sorry, big guy. You don't get to hurt the kid." Thor hurled Mjolnir, smashing into Draal'Korr's chest, while Iron Man fired his uni-beam at full power. Hulk followed with an earth-shaking punch that sent the warlord sprawling. Eryndor raised both hands, light pouring from his body. His ship magnified the energy, releasing a blinding surge that rippled across the battlefield. The Vorrak soldiers shrieked as their power drained, their bodies disintegrating into ash. Above, the Doomsday Cannon overloaded. The mothership's belly split with cracks of white fire before erupting in a colossal explosion that lit the night like a second sun. The fall of Draal'Korr. Draal'Korr staggered, his armor cracked, his energy fading. Yet he still rose, snarling. "You cannot kill despair. It always returns." Hulk stepped forward, fists clenched. "Then Hulk smash you every time you come back." Thor lifted Mjolnir. "And we shall stand, as we always have." Iron Man aimed his repulsors. "Yeah, so maybe take the hint and don't come back." But it was Eryndor who delivered the final blow. With calm determination, the child extended his hand. A beam of light struck Draal'Korr square in the chest, piercing through his armor, burning away the void energy. The warlord let out one last roar before collapsing, dissolving into nothingness. Silence swept across Central Park. The Vorrak fleet, now leaderless and drained of power, retreated into the stars, vanishing beyond the atmosphere. Aftermath. The battle was over. Spider-Man sat on the grass, mask pulled up, panting. "Well, That was intense. I don't suppose anyone packed snacks. Iron Man hovered nearby, armor scorched but still functional. Kid saved the planet. I think he gets dibs on pizza. Hulk grunted approvingly, watching Eryndor curiously. Small glowman strong. Hulk-like. Thor placed a hand on the alien's shoulder. You have faced your fear and found strength in hope. That is the truest power of all. Eryndor looked at each of them. Spider-Man's kindness, Iron Man's resolve, Thor's courage, Hulk's might, and smiled. His glow brightened, not from fear, but from belonging. "Friends," he whispered. Spider-Man ruffled his glowing hair gently. "Yeah, buddy. Friends." As dawn broke over New York, the city awoke to a sky free of Vorrak ships. The people would never forget the night aliens came, and the Avengers, with their strange new ally, stood between Earth and annihilation. And somewhere in the depths of space, the Vorrak licked their wounds, vowing revenge. But for now, Earth was safe. Because hope had found a home here. Because the Starfriend had chosen humanity.